let's just take it easy here. You can't solve all this kid's problems for himself. Eventually, there's gonna be a price to pay. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but you can't fuck around with life and death without fucking consequences. It's just the nature of existence. Think about it. Shit. I'm Retro. This is Retro Ribs. So, if you're a fan of the show, the first thing you're gonna notice is new camera. Woo! The second thing you're gonna notice is, well, we'll get to that later. Needless to say that Retro Ribs is back and better than ever. So just sit back, relax. This is One Punch Man. I'm so fucking excited!
Lo and behold, ye puny mortals, for he is the One Punch Man, and the One Punch Man can kill most things in one punch. He does it all for fun, and is seriously bored with life. The first 5 minutes of the anime entail this douchebag trying to take Saitama, but Saitama is the world's strongest man, therefore he defeats him in just one punch. Like all other adversaries that go against One Punch Man. Yes.
So right away you're gonna notice that Saitama acts a lot more like Goku than he does, say, Superman. Which really, when it comes down to it, is just a reflection of the different writing styles of different places on Earth. Japan versus America in this instance. But unlike Goku, whose story is more about how he goes from point A to point B, being a little monkey kid to a Super Saiyan god, Saitama starts off on top. And he's not going to be doing any growing throughout the series. That includes mentally, physically, and emotionally.
3 years prior to the start of the anime, Saitama was just some noob like you or me. Until one day a giant lobster man appears out of nowhere and threatens the life of this little big-chinned idiot, so Saitama has to jump in and save him because, hey, who's just gonna let a little kid die like that when Saitama awakens his super ultimate powers for justice? And because he's some weirdo crab guy instead of, regular guy, he kills him instead of calling the cops. 3 years later, and with many more kills under his belt, Saitama now has the moral dilemma of, what do you do after you become the strongest in what you do? What's the point of doing what you love when there are no more mountains to climb? And so now he just spends his days finishing all his fights in, you guessed it, one punch. Because that's who he is. The One Punch Man. And so he fights all out, hoping that one day somebody will actually be strong enough to give him a fight.
At one point, we all wanted to be One Punch Man. Well, I don't know about the girls, but quite a few. Every little boy dreams of being One Punch Man at some point in their life. And if they haven't, they're probably a weirdo who's never even heard of Superman before, so. No, seriously. Saitama's dream to follow his heart and do what's right by him is a beautiful one. He refuses to conform to the realities around him, and at the same time, he doesn't fail. He becomes the most powerful superhero on Earth, just like he always dreamed of being when he was a little kid. So despite the fact that he's going against all conventions of what society says he should be, he ends up what society would rather see itself be. All because he's following his heart instead of, say, your heart, or his heart, or her heart, or her heart, or her heart, or her heart, or all your billions of little cubicle dreams. He's trying to prove that he can succeed in life without following the beaten path that's been laid out for him like, everybody else does. He wants to show the world as well as himself that he could be something greater than just an ordinary man. He can be the strongest man.
So after figuring out that he's essentially a potato with what must be the best rubber ducky I've ever seen, by the way, he goes to sleep and dreams a dream where he fights a fight where he actually gets to go all out. Except for one thing. It was all just a dream. Poor Saitama. Only in his dreams, right? To be fair, though, the fight is really well done, and it also gives us great insights to how strong Saitama really is, so can't be mad at that.
Give money to this company so that they can make more shit for you to watch that's just as beautiful.
The question now is, though, Saitama has gotten so popular in recent years that can he possibly compete with mainstream heroes like Superman, Thor, the Hulk? Well, the answer might surprise you, but yes, he can. But we'll come back to that a little later. First things first, you gotta understand that if you're gonna make a statement like Saitama can compete with Superman, you gotta be prepared to back it up. And when you're making an argument that one character is better than another character, you better damn well know what you're talking about in terms of who your competition is. Superman is America's greatest superhero of all time. He's got friends who have been in just as many fights and battles as he's been in. He's got more movies than, Batman or, say, the Incredible Hulk. He's got writers who are willing to write decade after decade after decades worth of content for him. There's so many incarnations of the guy, I can't even count them all. He stands for truth, justice, and the American way. But can you even call it the American way anymore when so many people all over the world are just in love with the style he's created? Maybe not so much. But none of those facts make Superman great necessarily. No. What makes him great is all of you. The legions of fans who are willing to dedicate their lives to this character. People are so in love with Superman that, he's just an icon. He's a part of our lives that we can't live without. People all over the world know who Superman is and what he stands for and believe in his fight because they believe that it's a just fight. But now hear me out. Despite all of that, the guy's got a major flaw that people just don't see because they're so in love with the character. But we'll get back to that. For now... So how can One Punch Man compete with all of that? Well, simply put, he's just more relatable to our generation than Superman is. Where one time our American culture was so wrapped up in this idea of being the greatest person you can ever be, at this point in life, people have already conquered all the mountains of our world. Superman was an inspiration back in a day and age where people needed inspiring, where we felt like we were trapped in these little corners of our world and we didn't have any escape into the outside freedom. But now that's simply an untrue fact. Many people are striving to become Supermen of their day and age, and they do become Supermen of their day and age. But what happens when you become the strongest at what you do and there are no longer any mountains to conquer? That's kind of where we are in our society. But One Punch Man's greatest asset isn't what he is, it is where he comes from, because his character is a lot more fluidly written than Superman, simply put. It's just a matter of he has one writer where Superman has a billion of them, so his character doesn't end up getting muddled up in thousands of fucking retcons. Unlike Superman, who's had dozens of rehashes over the years, Saitama is just his new own thing. So, as time goes on and more people continue to write for Superman, it'll become apparent that Saitama is his own thing that stands out amongst the billions of different variations of different flavors of Superman. Time will remember one person as both a character and an icon, while the other is simply referred to as just simply an icon, eventually.
You see, to me it just seems as though Superman has run his course as a superhero. Instead of trying to overinflate an icon that's already been boosted up to legendary status, why don't you put some work into something new and your own? If we keep on reliving the past and never moving on from what was great, we don't grow. It's as simple as that. And with Superman remaining at the top of the superhero list, unquestioned in the fact that he's the greatest there ever was, all it's doing is keeping people from writing new and better stories about better characters. I'm too intimidated by the fact that Superman's name holds so much weight that a character that's even remotely similar can't even compete. At least that's my opinion. But that does it for this week's episode. If you like the revamp, remember to like, comment, and subscribe.